Welcome back, everyone. We took a little bit of time off, as should everyone, and we are enthusiastic to be back. Hey, I wanted to start with something. I am Jared Kubika-Miller, a debate coach and professor of communications. We have Tim Seavey from Bizolutions in Cal State, San Diego. Boom. Matt Shapiro, Esquire.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back.
Excellent. I wanted to start with just a really short something. Chadwick Boseman was a speech and debate student. He started in high school. He got top 10 in original oratory in 1995, and he just recently passed away from complications due to colon cancer. And it kind of hit me hard, and I wanted to just kind of put it out there that he seemed like such a really awesome, genuine guy, and it's really nice to have something like that come out of our community. I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that. So yeah. But today we're going to talk about is the fall tournament, and we are putting on a tournament. Yeah. We're putting on a tournament. We're doing asynchronous debate and individual events. And so we wanted to talk all about that. Anybody who's got questions, you can just throw them up in the comments, and we might even throw it up on the screen. Okay, so go ahead and let us know. All right, here we go. First thing I want to talk about is that we decided to tie an internship program to this tournament. I think that's the first thing that we want to talk about. At least I want to, because I thought this was a really awesome opportunity for us to provide, some back to people that can help out with this, and we think this is a really different and unique approach. And so, I just liked the idea of an internship. Hey, Matt, we've done internships before.
Yeah, I was hoping
how would you say that they went?
You should all know this. One of my favorite parts about me and Jared was after he was my coach, and long after I even left that school and went somewhere else. What really reconnected Jared and I was we started an internship between Cal State Fullerton and Santiago Canyon College. I think the whole Rancho district, but either way. So my last semester at Cal State Fullerton, I actually internshipped at SEC and helped coach, and also did helped with this group dynamics class. I did all kinds of stuff through internships. So, and I'm really happy with where I'm at now. And I guess the general overall point is to say internships are good, and you should seek internships and remind your students or children or friends of internships. We have one available, and it's paid. And we're excited to provide that to you along with the experience. It's going to be a good time in learning about how asynchronous debate tournaments and IE tournaments are run, and that might be a very important skill, in the future or right now. Who knows, And Jared, I think that's the whole point. What you were trying to get at, yeah.
Yeah, I think So what I want to do is I want to throw up here is our internship. Oh, you know what? Let me put on a banner here. Okay. And you can go there. All right. If you want to type that in, I'm also putting it in the comments for you to check out. Okay. And the details are there for you. Okay. There you go.
Awesome.
So, here's the thing about this internship is that we have to kind of gauge how many interns we can get based off of the level of interest in the tournament. So we're urging people to register early. You could always, drop before the deadline, which is fine, but we wanted to get an idea, and we want to support as many college level people with experience in speech and debate, like get them some experience on the back end of some of this stuff. I think it would be great, especially for people who've got like degrees and they're moving on to like master's programs or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, anyone who's not eligible.
All right, let me put it.
Yeah, go ahead, Jared.
No, I was just taking that down.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just gonna say, like, anyone who has, for any reason, they're not competing. I mean, this is kind of your opportunity. And Tim, let me ask you this: do you have any experience with internships?
Yeah, actually, like the entire digital marketing company that we ended up creating started out of a pretty small internship, and that became something entirely new. Like that became the basis of a company because more skills are always better, right? Like the more that you can develop yourself. So I think what's cool is that we have this weird limitation that's put on how we can participate in speech and debate right now, but I think that's going to create a huge amount of access and opportunity for futures. Like we've talked about asynchronous tournaments in the past, and I think that's going to be something that hopefully is here to stay with more tournaments to give greater access, to give greater entry, and to spread the ability to participate in tournaments, even if you can't be there in person, and even if you can't be there at the same time. So I think that this is asynchronous particular is going to be something to stay. And I think tournament directors, wherever you may be, are going to find value in figuring out how this operates, how it functions. And this is pretty cutting edge stuff that we've developed and that we're excited to share with our interns.
No matter where you are, feel free to apply, and we're gonna hopefully we have thousands and thousands of entries, and we'll need a lot of interns. Otherwise,
really though, like that's already we're legitimately on the cusp,
Ashley, on to your point, the tournament. Jared, tell us about the tournament.
Okay, so I also want to just remind people about the before just the tournament. It's like 5 hours a week online. And I think it pays pretty well. All right. So, but that's what I want to go with. Hey, Ashley, awesome. We're looking forward to hosting it. We're getting trying to get the word out right now. All right. So please pass this along. The
everyone is eligible, Ashley.
Invite you up. Yeah.
Keep going, Jared.
The internship is for anybody, but we prefer someone with some sort of experience in speech and debate competition because a lot of what we're going to be showing them how we manage the back end and do like some sort of unique tabbing approaches. And we think that's, really interesting things to pass on to other people so we can kind of spread this method of tournament management. All right. So yeah, I just want to talk about that internship really quick. You can apply at that link I gave you. You can write up your resume and send it to contact@protocommunications.com. Right? All right, let's talk about the tournament, man. Because we're gonna open up registration for this tomorrow. All right.
Everybody,
we're getting we've already got it up. Yeah, we've got it up, and that's our goal. Is we want to get this open tomorrow, barring any some sort of unnatural acts or anything like that. We will
acts of God.
We'll open it up for all registration. Yeah, any acts of God. Okay. Oh man.
So when is the first submission date? So all right. So tomorrow I'm going to enter my team in. We're in IEs. We're in debate. I can start throwing teams in there. If I, put up a debate entry tomorrow, I put as my entries tomorrow. When is the first submission due for each of those? When is the first submission due for debate?
Okay. The first submission would be due October 10th. But
October 10th. So I got almost a whole month.
Wait. Yeah. Right. Well, you got more than
hold on. Before we jump ahead of ourselves.
Do anything.
Yeah. Let's just talk about preliminarily.
And so the thing is,
there is registration. Everyone, registration for debate, October 4th. That's when it ends. It opens tomorrow, but it ends October 4th. That's the earliest, most important date anyone has to worry about. And moving forward, I mean, we are talking about October 10th now, which is the submission date for the 1AC.
Yeah, and so then October 7th we have to get a few things in order, and October 7th is when we do postings. Okay, so that's where you find out who you are pitted against and who, and things like that. Okay, for the limited preparation debates, that's when the topics are finalized, and then you have until between the 7th and the 10th from the postings is when you can start submitting, and the 10th is the last chance to submit your first affirmative constructive.
All of this information is laid out on the invitation. We have the invitation ready at forensics-tournament.net on the posting you will see for the tournament. So all this information is laid out, and we want you to know that you can find it there. But and we'll probably, maybe we could link it up in here. But
so I want to know what debate looks like, right? So
what forms of debate will there be?
Yeah, I've done it. We've done an asynchronous speech tournament. We had entry from 3 different states. We had a lot of schools. It was an awesome experience, like getting to participate with that. Like that was super cool. But IEs kind of makes sense, right? Like you have your prelim rounds. We were able to judge those 5 times, even though there was only 1 submission, because hey, like it's asynchronous. Gave it to multiple judges. Like that was beautiful and created different rounds. But debate is a new animal. So what does debate look like in our asynchronous tournament? Because I know we've talked about what it could be like in the past, but we've really put a lot of brain power into like what this will look like in a tournament. What is asynchronous debate going to look like at this tournament? What do we offer, and how does that actually function?
Yeah, so let's start with the different types that we're doing. We are offering CETA.
We are offering
NFALD, NPDA and IPDA. Okay, and so we're going to adapt the topic selection for the limited prep stuff to it. But the topics for NFA and for CETA are the topics that came out of committee, right? And everyone should already know that. Yeah. And so those are the 4. And what basically, regardless of which one you sign up for, from the moment you submit that first affirmative to the moment you submit the very last affirmative rebuttal, that's like a 6-week span. So So you like every between 3 and 5 days, you have to submit a response or participate in some cross examinations. Multiple of them.
How many rounds
you're going to be doing? Yeah, that's 6 rounds in 6 weeks.
Nice, but then not one after another after another. So, it's 6 rounds happening at the same time, right? Because that's how asynchronous can work. So you submit your 1AC, and that's going to 6 different teams against which you're competing, or against whom you're competing, right?
Yeah, you submit 3 different affirmatives.
Oh, sorry, 3 affirmatives. Okay.
For the prepped ones, you can submit the same 3 affirmatives if you wanted to, right? But you submit 3 affirmatives; those go to 3 people, and you get 3 affirmatives after you submit, right? And so now you're constantly going back and forth. So 3 affirmative, 3 negative, 6 debates total, and pretty typical tabbing for stuff like that on how the results come out about on a win-loss ratio and speaker points, things like that.
I think the key also is to remember, everybody, that like the big huge difference is once you receive a submission from the other side, say like you don't have to immediately respond. Okay, like this may be fairly obvious to some, and this may not be so fairly obvious to others. Like you have a strategic amount of time that you can sleep and think about your case. And so it may be advantageous to wait a couple days. Now, if you're going to Uncle Larry's wedding, maybe you have to submit it, and you can do that, in one day. You don't have to, but my point, and I think all of our point, is like one huge advantage in asynchronous is you get to have time. You have time. Time is kind of on your side if you think of a debate as such a moment by moment thing, because once you get in front of the camera, it is back to speak clearly. And we always reiterate this, and I'll say it again: just because you clicked record once and you recorded yourself, you can re-record 10 times. You can re-record until the sun comes home. You just have to submit one, your favorite one. And so
the thing about that is I invited a bunch of coaching groups to watch this today as well. And hopefully there's some. I know Ashley's on, and so the thing is that you can actually talk to your coach. in between speeches. You could, like there's nothing stopping you. In fact, that was kind of by design, right? That we can have a little bit more, like involvement on that level. You could talk to, and you get help from your teammates, especially, right? Peers, and it's like, oh, what would you do on this one? And you can actually have like, a session where you discuss what you're going to say in your next response. I think that's a good thing. I think that's something that we should encourage a little bit more, contemplation before you speak, and taking a little bit of time, but also philosophically, like, let's let technology sort of make our lives easier.
We're saying
let it do its thing,
we're talking philosophically, just to remind everyone where we stand on this, because we're very delicate about what we're doing right now. We someday look forward to a day where you go to a real debate tournament. Okay, I'll say it real, like this is real, but I just mean to say, like, we are not trying to retract from those skills. This is just a different skill that we can also do. All right,
it's a different speed of debate.
And we can embrace it, or we could hate it forever. And like, we're just saying, let's give it a shot. And like, I'm telling you, everyone loves change. Everyone is about progression, and like, this is just another form that we can enjoy long before the actual debate tournaments will ever really start in the future. So go ahead.
From a coaching standpoint. From a coaching
Tim.
standpoint, it's useful because, as Jared was mentioning a minute ago, you previously send your students off to a round, and hopefully they do well. They come back with some feedback, and maybe they remembered what their judge told them, or maybe they don't. And maybe you have to wait for the ballots to see what really happened in that round. But you will be able to tell from the video submissions of what your students saw and what they submitted themselves of exactly how that round went. Like, I don't think we've ever had a degree of transparency and like individual coachability per a tournament. So there is so much more thought and more time and care that goes into every answer, into every rebuttal. The craft of each of these back and forth, I think, really raises the bar of like what debates will look like, because you don't have communication apprehension. You don't have the like heat of the moment stressing you out.
Or
you don't have just the limitation of time.
Communication apprehension,
right? Like,
I mean, this
sure,
is like,
like,
this is a camera. This is also this is a form. I mean,
no, totally. But like,
I'm apprehensive right
in
now.
front of an audience. You have, like you mentioned before, you have like 7 opportunities. You can re-record it 100 times if you want until you get just the right one. So that really kind of lowers the barrier for some folks that maybe didn't want to enter debate before, but know they've got good ideas, know that their voice has value, that they can be good at this. This is a different opportunity for competitors and for coaches. So it looks like, looking at the schedule that everyone will be able to see tomorrow, there's about, between, based on the type of debate, like 5 to 7 days for each back and forth to send back and forth these speeches.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. So some people might be wondering how we're suggesting to do cross-examination, and that is, we actually are encouraging synchronous meeting times that you arrange with your opponents. Okay, and you could do something like this. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so, but the thing is that like getting 3 minutes to work is significantly more likely than getting an hour to work, through an entire session. And so you can like restart those things, and we think that it is really manageable. It could be, it could be audio, if that's more.
If you had catastrophic failure, you could redo it. I mean, if you had some horrible failure, like obviously, like we would want the most pure form of you and them, but like, whatever, like just make it happen, right? Put something up there that you're all proud of, and like we know that like it's whatever, like we're not trying to tell you to
the back and forth is important.
Rules.
We really do encourage the back and forth, though.
We don't want the synchronous pitfall of this type of connection problem to to cause you all problems. Okay, so we don't want that, and we don't want to have problems on the air. You know what I mean? That's not good. Not a good look.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tim.
Yeah.
I think that there's, so as far as timeline, right? Like everyone tomorrow can start submitting people, or can start, making submissions. What do IEs look like? Are they the same as the previous? Right. So registrations open tomorrow. Submissions will happen after that. More important dates, and I know that people will be able to look this up afterwards, but Matt, what are the other important dates that we should know for individual events? We've talked about debate. What important dates should we know for individual events? So registration opens tomorrow. When does it end?
One thing, Jared wanted me to highlight registration for IEs ends much later than debate. Okay, so in IE land, November 18th is the cutoff date for registration. Registration. Okay, that's a whole different ball game. And the submission date, the final submission date for IEs is very close to when we just told you the debate tournament will be effectively over. At November 23rd in IE land, November 23rd is when the submission date is.
So that's only 5 days after the registration cutoff. So that means students should be like prepping their events and like recording and doing all that. They probably shouldn't wait until that 5 day window, right? Like if you know that you're going to enter, plan that entry and get working on your event.
Yeah, you're correct about that. Now, also remember everybody that in IE land, Jared, how many submissions does an IE participant submit?
Just one, man. Just
crazy,
one.
Everybody. Is that not crazy? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So the gold medal?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone.
It's,
so no, that's important. Tim, you're 100% right. Anyone who's thinking about IE, do not look at that registration date and think that people aren't getting ready now. If you have a piece, get it ready, because the point is that unlike debate where there's a whole month before or even almost 2 months before, the key is the tournament starts today. It just so happens that debate takes a lot more stuff to happen on our end.
Exactly.
And we need you all to know that the forensics tournament, both IE, prep, if you want to have on film the speech you think and see on film, you're going to have to start now as vigorously as the debaters start, and they're going through their thing. The IE people need to realize that it's your time to start prepping, because it's not like the 3 or 4 days between registration and submission is enough
time.
Yeah. So Tim, that's a great point. And
but the main reason that we do that is because we are trying to have the judging period all at the same time. So all the debate judging and the IE judging is kind of happening in the same window, and we get the results in relatively the same amount of time. Judging is also an interesting beast. We do a round of sample ballots, but then we just send out all the ballots all at once. You know what I mean? It's and debate judges will have 8 or 9 rounds that they need to watch, which is comparable to a regular tournament, right?
But how long will a judge have?
You'd have 6 rounds.
How long will a judge have to judge those rounds? I don't have that date.
It's about a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's the key. It's a different philosophy, right? Even a judge, you have some time. This is not like you have to sit down for 8 hours in one day and watch it. No, it's you have a work assignment that will take a few hours. Yeah. And that's what IE judging looks like in both debate and IEs. I mean, that's kind of what we're telling you, is you see it all kind of at once. So
you can break it out as needed, which is amazing because judges have lives outside too. Most of them are professors, and they've got stuff to do, and they've got family. So if you only have, an hour from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on a Thursday, you've got free to judge, knock out as much judging as you can there. And that is kind of the beauty of asynchronous too, is it's not only for the students when it's convenient to record and submit, for judges too, when it's convenient to judge and submit those entries. So you've got a week time to get those in as well. And as Jared pointed out, that's really no different from a regular tournament. The actual commitment number is, we base that on any other in-person tournament.
But you don't have to travel to that tournament. You don't have to walk between rounds. You don't, so all of that time gets compressed if you're
going to have to make your own coffee.
Sit down and do it. Yeah.
You don't have to pretend like you like this info, even if it's boring. Like your facial expression, you don't have to worry about that performance whatsoever.
We're going to save you from that 8-hour-old Subway cut-up 6-foot sandwich that you should not be eating. We're going to help you.
I think people should use this as an opportunity to be ethical judges, though. You know what I mean? It's we are counting on our judges to watch everything that we assign.
You can watch it
counting
twice
on that.
just to say
it. You could rewind.
You can rewind. You're like, did he say that? You're like, yeah, he said that, or whatever. You know what I mean? You can find out. You'll have all that information.
What's amazing is last time our judges, for the size of tournament that we had that was fairly substantial, every single ballot came in before the deadline. which is fantastic, right? Like when given the time, judges are reliable, responsible, skilled people. So our tournament we're expecting this time as well, like we had no idea. We thought we may receive like 5 ballots back and it may be a complete nightmare, which we have excellent backup. Like shout out to Higher Judges. Higher Judges backing us up. So if a ballot doesn't come in, we can pass it off to people.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Blake Longfellow's a man.
Yeah.
So we can pass it off to them and make sure that stuff gets judged. But we had 100% of ballots in on time. What tournament can boast having 100% of ballots in on time? But because we're able to manage that over time,
Jared,
that works.
I would like to ask you one more question in the last couple of minutes here. If you could briefly explain how awards work with our tournament, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Briefly.
I think that's a perfect, perfect segue, because I really liked I really liked how we did it, and I got big plans to make it even better this time. And so, we'll probably have like the fact that we could now have like debate and IE awards is great. I think we could have like a 2-part sort of thing with an intermission between them. But what we do is we have several awards. I think we're also going to take liberty on having some additional awards that you might not see at a normal tournament that we're kind of in the works on. But we go, for individual events, we give, first, second, and third place, and then recognize finalists. And for each event, inviting the winner to actually give an acceptance speech for their win. And it's always a shame that a community that has competitive speech at its core doesn't have the opportunity to give people acceptance speeches. And I'm like, well, now we do have that opportunity. Like our approach is different, and we can do that. So we use this interface right here, and I think it went pretty well. And I got some ideas on making
Jared
and
really
so for
does
like
it up.
debate awards, we could do the same thing.
As far as the online ceremony, what we're talking about is like an online debate ceremony, and like it's done up right. Jared has very good, all of the editing. It looks like the Oscars. Okay, now the video might be from the kitchen, but the point is like it's really cool. It's really special, and what's really cool is all of your loved ones and friends and family
from your performance. Like we take clips from your performance and work them into the awards ceremony as well, so people see your performance. Tim did a great job emceeing it, getting started, or the introduction of it.
It's cool because we could send this link for a live audience to all your loved ones, friends, and families. We had a huge response for our other previous tournaments, even in IE for the IE tournament we did. And it's just really cool because it gives people access to see you with your whole forensics crew, and even a part of your speech, just together at that moment. And it really is a special thing. It was really cool to do it last time.
And you also get to see the events afterwards. I find that every award ceremony I've ever attended, I feel regret in my soul if I missed the award ceremony that everyone's stoked about because they got to see that ADS finals or that duo final or that amazing POI, and a couple people got to see it, and now you get to see the championship speeches after the fact. You get to see the runners up. You can go watch the final round because it's recorded and documented, and you can send it off to your family hey, I won first place in this thing. Wait, you do CSI and you won it? I don't get it. No, you can go send them the performance of what that looks like, and we've never had that opportunity before, and that's one of the other amazing cool things about asynchronous tournaments is they are recorded, saved, edited, because we actually make them look better. We will do some video editing on them to improve them as the judges see them and as we release them for awards, so that people get to enjoy and appreciate those in perpetuity.
Meaning forever.
And you can check out a bunch of these. Yeah, you could check all these videos out on our channel at DebateSensei on YouTube. Okay, as well as the awards ceremony, and you check out how that went down. I liked it. I would love to do an even bigger one this fall and an even bigger one in the spring. And I think that's gonna be our schedule for as long as people are interested. We'll do one in the fall, one in the spring, and maybe. And I think we'd love some suggestions. I always like listening to it because it's such a sort of different way of doing things. Is the rules aren't written yet. You know, it's like we're just kind of putting these ideas down. It works for my class, and I think that's cool. You know,
You guys, we're really excited about this tournament coming up. Our company is Proto Communications. We're talking about DebateSensei and our forensics tournament coming up that for everybody, debate and IEs. Jared Kubica Miller, my speech professor, the greatest speech professor, if you ask me, with us today. Tim Seavey from Visolutions, but more importantly with Proto Communications, and me, Matt Shapiro with Proto Communications. Thank you all for watching, and we are excited to see you soon at the tournament.
all right, everybody. Let me get this feature roll going. We will see you next week. Okay. Here we go. It doesn't want to work. All right.